Hey guys, welcome back to Occasional Dilemma Gaming. I'm Stando. Could Xbox already be thinking about what comes after the Xbox One? Well, that's possible. The Xbox has sold on par this generation compared to its predecessor, the Xbox 360, which dominated last generation, by the way, in the midst of the world's largest financial recession in a very long time. However, it did finally succumb to the PS3 worldwide by the end of the generation, but hey, it's pretty good, and that means they're selling a lot of consoles this generation as well, just not as much as their competitors. And Xbox Phil Spencer has gone on record in the past talking about how this is the end of the hardware generations, and they were going to be focusing more going forward on iteration approach like we saw with the Xbox One X. But since the Xbox boss Phil said that, they've gone kind of back and forth with their messaging as they talk about their future. Phil Spencer has also talked recently about all the online memes about where the exclusive Xbox games are when it comes to the current gen exclusive lineup. Because a lot of gamers, it's very underwhelming compared to their competitors, say the PS4 and the Nintendo Switch. And thus he's talked about investing in new dev studios, whether it be building them from the ground up or buying them outright. But these projects, like the rumored Fable 4, which could be developed by the way, Forza Horizon 3 developer, would be very far off in the future. Among the other rumors from reliable sources that we hear upcoming are possibly a new Mech Assault game, a Perfect Dark revival, and so many more, guys. And according to Reset Era Administrator Daniel Ahmed, all of this is culminating in a perfect storm for whatever comes after the Xbox One is. He went on record saying, quote, "A lot of investment going on now is something that will be fully reflected in the next generation. What this means is, in the case of something like the recently rumored Fable 4 game, for example, is that I would expect projects like that to release for quite some time. Whilst there will be a couple of surprise games for the rest of this generation, the majority of projects in the works or planned are going to be a while out. There will still be a live service focus across all their big games, of course." And we see that with the big service staple with games like State of Decay 2 coming up, Sea of Thieves, and Crackdown 3. Xbox has also continued to go out of their way to make these life improvements throughout the Xbox Live and new services like Xbox Games Pass, which is more like the Netflix of video games. And that makes Ahmed also predict that Xbox will make some future announcement how they will handle digital games in the future. It is possible that this could mean the return of the family share program that was in the slate for the console when it was first announced, or it could also mean the selling of digital games back to the service or to another user. It's interesting to see where Xbox One currently is and where they are heading, and in my opinion, a healthy Xbox is only great for the industry. Even though I'm not an Xbox owner myself, I am always looking to see if they are ready to entice me to jump on board. Amy Hennig, the former Uncharted creator director and the former creative director over the now defunct Star Wars game that would have been developed by Visceral Games, she talked in a recent interview with Campo Santo founder Sean Vanneman about single-player games and whether they are still viable. She had a very long quote that I'm not even going to post up on this video. I'm just going to read it to you and see what you guys think, and also give my thoughts on what she had to say. "I think we're in an inflection point right now. Obviously, what happened with our Star Wars project didn't come out of the blue. A lot of too dramatic articles were written about it, the death of linear story games, and all that kind of stuff. But look, there is a real problem. This is a line we've been running up to for a lot of years, which is the rising cost of development, the desires, or the demands even, of players in terms of hours of gameplay, fidelity, production values, additional modes, all of these things. Those pressures end up very real internally, and it could cost you, say, 100 million or more to make a game. How are you making that money back and making a profit? And the $60 price point can't change, right? There's a lot of negative press around monetization, loot boxes, games as service, etc. But these are things that are trending now in the industry, especially for larger publishers, as an answer to the problem of rising development costs. Budgets keep going up, but the bar keeps getting raised, and it starts making less and less sense to make these games. There is also this trend now that as much as people will protest and say, why are you canceling a linear story-based game? This is kind of the game we want. People aren't necessarily buying them. They're watching somebody else play them. And like I said, guys, I am willing to play devil's advocate because obviously I disagree kind of with a lot of points that she says, although I understand where she's coming from as a developer. I'm not a developer. I'm not on the inside to know and all this other stuff, but I can take certain projects that like EA works on, say, and compare them to, say, projects like Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, made by a small indie developer, or compare it to, say, The Witcher 3, which is developed and produced by CD Projekt Red. I can compare these products and see how they line up with cost and with profit and see where they're going. And like I said, I kind of disagree. I think the $60 price tag can change and it should adjust for inflation. But I also think that people should work within their budget constraints and not worry about the expectations of the audience so much. Great art has a way of finding an audience and being adored, and that was very evident in 2017 with titles like Neo, Nier Automata, Breath of the Wild, Horizon, and none of those people really asked their players if they were really interested in this. I mean, do you really think that, you know, Michelangelo went around asking everybody in Italy if they think that the 16th chapel needed its ceiling painted? It just didn't happen. Great art finds its way and surprises the audience instead of trying to meet expectations. Surprises. As a matter of fact, I think that publishers need to adjust their expectations and realize that not every game is going to sell equally across the board. The mindset that a single player and a story-based game is not profitable when compared to a game with a multiplayer component is only going to stifle creativity. Not every game needs to cost $100 million or more or be a sprawling 300-hour adventure. I like and miss the occasional 7 to 8 hour game as long as it's good. We see the indie scene taking up this mantle recently, like I said, with Ninja Theory's Hellblade. And as far as people watching instead of buying online, those people weren't going to buy the game anyway. And I can attest to that because I've made purchasing decisions myself on buying games based on footage that I've watched. I've bought many of games that I would have never have bought because I saw someone else playing a part of it, or all of it in some cases. Like I said, I see both sides of the fence and I kind of sit in the middle, but I'm interested to know what you guys think. That's just, you know, what you've heard so far is just my fat man's opinion. What do you think? Leave me a comment in the Twitch chat or in the comment section below if you're watching on YouTube. Also, if you are new around here, don't forget to follow the channel and leave a like on the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember that I love your face, and I'll catch you next time. But until then, have a good one.